Do you sometimes let work pile up until you feel like you have a pile of work this big and this much time to do it? Me too. Hello, fellow wanderers. Today we're going to be talking about how to deal with all of your work once it's all piled up. If you've come from my TikTok, you've probably seen my many "It's Sunday night and I've not gotten anything done yet, so let's get stuff done" series. And this is kind of an extreme version of that. The first, and in my opinion the most important thing you need to do, is refresh your body a little bit. If it's gotten to the point where you have just a massive amount of work you need to get done and you've not gotten it done, you're probably pretty stressed. And being super stressed while you try and do work isn't super helpful for anyone. So try and go wash your face. Maybe double wash it if you're feeling fancy. Put on a face mask. Take 10 minutes to just refresh yourself, refresh your body. Change clothes, put on something comfortable. And then if you're feeling funky, clean your desk. That leads us to the second step, or the second action you need to take, which is cleaning your desk. And doesn't really seem like that big of a deal, but I promise that especially if you have a ton of work to get done, it's going to be a lot easier to do if you aren't dealing with random things just sitting on your desk taking up space. If you know me or have seen any of my videos before, you might be shocked that this was not my first tip, but what you're going to do now is make a list of everything you need to get done. I can almost guarantee that it's going to be incredibly disheartening to have to write down all of the things you need to do, but I can also almost guarantee that in the long run it's going to make your life way easier. And while we are on the topic of lists, what I would suggest you do while you write your list is be very intentional about what you're writing. For example, don't write "clean room" because that's super broad and that will probably take an hour if your room's super messy. Maybe write several bullets. Pick up the clothes off the floor. Start a load of laundry. Make sure that there's no trash on the floor. Make sure to really break up your tasks because when we move on to the next step of the list making, it'll make your life even easier. The next step of list making is sectioning your list into time chunks. Right now, I think it's around 5 p.m. and I'd like to be in bed by 9 because I've been up way too late the last 2 nights. And so to be able to chunk up my time effectively, I can use those little cleaning tasks, like when you're cleaning your room, as breaks. Obviously, in an ideal world, you wouldn't have to use cleaning as your break. However, if you're really in a time crunch, you have to make every minute count, and sometimes that means doing your laundry as a break. When you're chunking up your time, I try and do hour by hour, and so I try and guess that project 3 might take an hour to finish, and then, or let's call it 50 minutes, and then I will pick up all the clothes off my floor in the remaining 10 minutes that in a typical Pomodoro session would be used as a break. And then I would work on lesson 16 and so on and so forth. Now that our list is made, we're probably kind of feeling that anxiety ramping back up about not being able to complete your tasks in time. And to that I say, make a cup of tea and then just start. And saying just start is kind of disingenuous, I will say. If you are like most people, starting is kind of the hardest part. You really have to push through. You're like, ugh, I would rather just scroll on Tumblr. I'll just clean my room now instead of doing my homework. That way it'll all go well. Just sit down, put on a 10-minute timer, and just start working. And at the end of the 10 minutes, if you're really not feeling it, you can start cleaning your room. You can start on one of your other tasks that needs to get done. Your next task is to start, and it sucks, and it's gonna suck, and doing it's gonna suck, and you know what, it's probably not gonna be very much fun, but that's okay. When work piles up, you still have to get through it, you know? Once you're finished, the most important thing I can tell you to do is to rest yourself. Even if you didn't get through everything you needed to get done, once your clock hits whatever your end time is, for me that's 9 o'clock, take your journal and do some journaling. Just talk about how you feel, because especially when that anxiety is really aggressive and there and you really feel like you can't do much else other than be anxious, please just write it down. Talk to someone. Do something to help you, because letting it all bottle up, all of that stress and all of that anxiety and the just feelings of worthlessness that often occur when you have let work pile up in this way, it really sucks, and having a healthy outlet for that is super important. So, journaling. Obviously, this is a pretty basic breakdown, but it works pretty well for me. I hope if you are snowballed, this goes well. If you're not, I don't know why you're watching this video, but I do hope that it is helpful in the future. Goodbye.